People ask me, what do basketball players know about football? What say you, Joe?
I explained that anyone can run up and down a grass field with a screwy-shaped ball, but it takes finesse to strategically launch a basketball from long distances at an 18-inch diameter steel hoop.
Dang, Joe, you sure are smart.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Don't get sidetracked.
That man is playing Galaga.
We'll keep you on course.
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
1037 The Buzz.
Several hundred adventure, scenic views that will take your breath away, biking trails and back roads just begging to be discovered. Sit back and relax as Ray Tucker and longtime journalist Brian Hendricks explore our magnificent state with this week's edition of Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Brought to you by Honda of North Little Rock,
how many
your
times can I do
family
that?
fun headquarters.
Honda North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters. And we didn't mention sunsets. You can sit here in the studio and get a little glimpse of them. What great weather. Unseasonably, this is the next to last day of September. And it, was it in the 90s today?
I think it got up to about 91 the last I checked, and then I quit checking because it's officially hot at that point.
All right, so we talk about the weather, and we're going to talk about fall bass fishing as the temperatures cool at night. And the fishing gets better and better.
Yeah. And we have with us to talk about that one of the most accomplished fishermen in Central Arkansas, Mr. Todd Baker, who is a manager at Donnie's Foreign Car Repair. And he is an accomplished golfer as well, but bass fishing is his thing. Mm-hmm. And it's you and I have been talking quite a bit about that lately, and it's starting to pick up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my son-in-law actually went yesterday to a pool on the river I'd never been to, and we fished for about 5 hours, caught 30, had 1 4-pounder, several 2 1/4 Kentuckys. The water's finally cooling down. When we left, it got 280. It started out about 76. Water was awful muddy, though, because this year on the river, I think they bought yo-yos or something, because it's just 1 week it's up, 1 week it's down, one day it's down, one day they quit flowing. Of course, the key on the river is flow. If you don't have flow, you're not going to catch fish. I mean, you can, it just gets tougher.
All right, for somebody who's not an avid bass fisherman, let's talk about the water temperatures and the changes and how that plays in.
The water temperature's huge, especially on the river, because once it gets lower than 55, 54 degrees surface temperature, they get really finicky. They get kind of dormant is the best way to say it. They get slow. Now, where if you go to Hamilton, the Gray, Ouachita, some other lakes, they're still slower, but they hit different type of bait. So hit a slower moving bait, like a jig or even a jerk bait, which unfortunately I started throwing several years ago, and they're $25 a piece, and you hate losing one, but sometimes it happens. But water temperature dictates a lot on a lot of lakes. Of course, when it gets hot, they do the same thing. They're trying to find cooler water. They're trying to find more oxygenated water, but the key range is 60 for anywhere. Because 60, the bass start moving up to spawn. In the fall, they do the opposite. They start feeding up. Actually, they'll start feeding up around 70 because they know when the water temperature gets lower, the shad die off, the crawdads hide. They've got to feed up to make it through the winter.
So when you talked about the water temperature starting out at, say, 76, and then it climbs up above 80, and you've got a pretty short window there, but it matters. Mm-hmm. At what point do you say, okay, water temperatures at 80, 81, fishing's, let's leave it for the day?
Yeah, pretty much, or you slow down and move out on drops. I mean, I can tell you yesterday at 11:30, we more or less could have just put it on trailer and went home. It just slowed down.
So, river fishing is totally different than lake fishing, but you still have a lot of the same features of lakes that used to be rivers that are flooded. So
Oh, yeah.
when we're talking about, and I don't want to talk about the Arkansas too much, but let's talk about things that would relate to that for people that want to fish it. You've got rock structure, jetties and revetments. You've got in-stream structure, drops and bars, and you even have, shell beds and things like that. In the fall, what are the sort of things that you're going to look for when you leave the ramp? What's in the forefront of your mind?
First thing, you go to the rocks. You go either to a straight rock bank with flow on it, or you go to jetties. And what a lot of people don't understand, a jetty is something that they've put in to break up flow, to keep the river navigable.
Yeah, direct the flow to the center.
Yes, and they are key, especially this time of year, because I can tell you all but 3 fish we caught yesterday were all on jetties, every one of them. And it's where bait congregates. It's the crawdads are around the rocks, obviously. Shad congregate around them. The next thing would be a sandbar drop off of the jetty. And people say, well, what's sandbar drop? Well, there's sand in the river. When the flow comes up, sand moves, and it'll congregate. It gets in the eddy. So in other words, if you took your garden hose and sprayed off your back deck, with leaves or crap or whatever on it, there's going to be a spot to where if you let it keep flowing, it's going to congregate, usually the low spot. It's kind of the same in the river, where if you've got a jetty sticking out and water, a jetty perpendicular from the bank and water coming by it, there's going to be an eddy behind it. A lot of times that's where fish will stack up this time of year, because they can run out in the current and grab water, grab shad or whatever when they come by, which a lot of people don't understand too. This time of year, you can wear them out on top water right around the jetties if the conditions are right, which is the same thing, water temperature, bait being there. You would thought yesterday you'd catch them on a spinnerbait. My son-in-law threw a spinnerbait for an hour, never caught a fish. Just right now, a crankbait emulates a shad is basically what. Now, some of them will imitate crawfish, but right now, too, or the last couple of weeks, color hasn't mattered. He threw a crawdad color pattern yesterday. I'm still throwing a shad pattern somewhat. Actually have a friend of mine who paints up crankbaits, and that's what I'm using. And, if I start catching them on something else, he'll say, send me the color, and he'll paint some up, and you go try them. And, it's kind of a trial and error sometimes. There's some that work all the time, but basically, I don't want to say you're matching the hatch, but you match kind of the size. Rattle to me makes more difference. I know years ago Strike King came out with no rattling crankbaits. Well, to me, I'd rather have it, because especially in dirty water, it helps the fish find the bait or find the lure. It's just, they always say a science, all this forward-facing sonar and all that stuff. I still don't have it. I mean, if I'm going to spend that much money to find a fish, I've either gotten terrible or, I might as well play a video game in my boat.
Has the swim bait replaced the crankbait?
In some instances, yes and no. If the swim bait doesn't make noise, it doesn't make the vibration a crankbait makes. I will tell you that you can go to Canada and throw a swim bait all day long, catch all the smallmouth you want in the springtime. I've seen it. I've done it. It's a phenomenal bait, but it kind of has its place too. It's funny you mentioned that too, because at the lakes, when the water cooled down, you can catch them really good on a swim bait. I threw some 2.5, 3 weeks ago. I couldn't catch one on one. It just doesn't, in the dirtier water, it doesn't make vibration like as much as a crankbait or spinnerbait or even a vibrating jig, anything like that.
On the Arkansas River, the southern pools better than upriver towards Fort Smith?
If I had to pick,
Dumas pool?
If I had to pick one and say yes, I would say from, say, David E. Terry down, they're on an average better. I mean, I forget what the year was, but Denny Bauer won a BASS tournament out of Little Rock. He locked all the way down to Pine Bluff every day.
Sure did.
In fact, he got stuck in the lock.
And penalized, but it was worth it to him. Yep.
And I watched the video the other night on YouTube. I was looking for something to find. I saw it and I said, I'm going to watch this. And I knew exactly where he was and exactly what he's doing. I've been down there and done it once. I couldn't catch a fish. But
Yeah.
he was just he's that good with a jig. I mean, the guy's phenomenal with a jig.
All right, we're visiting with Todd Baker talking about fall bass fishing in the state of Arkansas. More to come here on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
It's a tough time, injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
This is Anthony Lucas, here to tell you about my favorite spot in Little Rock, Corky's. Sure, Corky's may look all ribs and barbecue on the outside, but did you know Corky's was also nominated for Central Arkansas's best catfish? And don't get me started on their chicken, shrimp, and nachos.
Those Big Joe burgers, Anthony.
Big Joe, when did you get here?
You really stealing my thunder, Anthony. Corky's is my place.
No way you love Corky's like me, Joe.
Talk to me when you have your own menu item, Lucas.
Corky's ribs and barbecue. Arkansas Round Ballers Big Joe Klein and Pat Bradley pontificate on Bet Saracen.
People ask me, what do basketball players know about football? What say you, Joe?
I explained that anyone can run up and down a grass field with a screwy-shaped ball, but it takes finesse to strategically launch a basketball from long distances at an 18-inch diameter steel hoop.
Dang, Joe, you sure are smart.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
The season is back and your team at Gwatney Buick GMC is playing fantasy financing all month. So get ready to sack your current payment. 2025 Buick Envista at just $199 per month. Get a full blitz of loyalty cash and bonus cash, bringing 2025 Sierra up to 20% below MSRP. Plus, Gwatney Buick GMC is making the biggest play of the year, the $20,000 Negative Equity Assistance Program. Your best opportunity to turn your current car situation around. And with Hummer EV at 0%, don't fumble and miss this $7,500 EV tax credit that ends on September 30th. It's fantasy financing all month long at 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock next to Sam's Club. 501-945-4444. Gwatney, Buick, GMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Some vehicles require qualifying trade-in. All offers with approved credit. Envista is an ultra-low mileage lease. Sierra based on an MSRP of $55,095. Zero interest has length of contract limited.
The best memories always happen outside. Hiking forest trails, paddling on glassy lakes, watching a waterfall roaring after rain, roasting s'mores under a sky full of stars. And with 52 incredible Arkansas state parks around the state, all that's missing is you. So what are you waiting for? Pick your park and plan your adventure at arkansasstateparks.com.
Brought to you by Arkansas State Parks, this station, and the ABA.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
And we're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, and we are talking all things fishing Arkansas with Todd Baker, a very accomplished fisherman in this part of the world. And we have been talking about falling temperatures and moving baits, crankbaits, swim baits, things like that. One thing I wanted to ask you is a situation that I got into on Monday down in southeast Arkansas. And
this ought to be good.
Wish I'd have been there.
Yeah, I wish you'd have been too, because you might have showed me something.
I've been in a bunch of them.
Some of the smaller lakes we fish, well, if you go across I-430 and you look over toward the hydro dam, that's all good water over there, but it's so covered up with pads that you can't get into it. And so a lot of the smaller lakes are like that too, that water you can fish in March and April get closed in and they're inaccessible. But as you cruise the outsides of those big pad fields, you can hear bass hitting stuff way back in there. And if you could just get something to them, you'd have a chance. How do you do that?
Well, you can't take waders with you in your boat because if you get out, you'll probably sink up to your butt and won't be able to get out.
Right.
But, the only way I know is either a small aluminum boat or a kayak.
Yeah, but no, you can't get to it in a boat. So what I tried is, like a ribbit frogs throwing back in the pit.
Oh, yeah.
And so I felt like I had a chance with things like that, but I don't know if I came across the top of the pads too fast. Do you have to let it sit there, let it fish, kind of
experiment with your cadence, how you work the bait. Sometimes colors don't matter in that. Sometimes they do. Usually, everybody throws white because you can see it. And I've caught more fish on a black buzzbait on the river and other places like that around pads than I have white. Finding a reel or a combo you can throw it further with. I still ask my son-in-law how in the world he throws it as far as he does, but I guess he's younger. I guess that's part. It's like hitting a golf ball. You can get it further when you're younger, but that's a lot of it. I know. I kind of what you're talking about. There was a spot down the river you can't even get into anymore, and it's kind of similar to what you're talking about. It used to, in the late spring and summertime, be loaded with pads, and there'd be bass in there, and you'd throw everything out of the kitchen sink and could not get one to bite. And when you finally caught one, it was a 3+, 4+ pounder. I mean, we caught some 6s out of it, and we finally had to take a fluke and rig it with no weight and throw it as far as you could back in there and just slowly start working it like it was a dead shad, because they were in there because of the shad. It was like it was a dead shad just kind of wandering through the pads. All of a sudden you'd get one boil up on it, and when you set the hook, you knew you had a good fish. Of course, you had to have a pretty stout rod, pretty stout line to get him out because it was the cover you were in was so thick. But like I said, it got sanded in so bad you can't. It's not even fishable. You can't even get a boat. You can't. Heck, you could probably walk back there now if you could stop close enough. But it's you kind of fight that sometimes because you'll get. It's the same with those small lakes, with water fluctuating like Nimrod. Nimrod, it gets a little rain in that area, and that thing may come up 10, 15 feet and be down, below pool in 2 weeks because they'll just dump the crap out of it. But you fight that same thing on the river, too, because the river fluctuates with flow, and the whole river system's barge traffic. I mean, that's their whole thing, and, we're kind of secondary. Actually, we're probably 4th or 5th down the line. But you have to have the same thing because we go over to some smaller lakes like that and fish around the lily pads or cypress trees, and you're like, how in the world do those fish get back to where they're at? Because you can't even get there. Well, if you let the water get out of it, you'll see there's a hole or a dip back there, and if they can get back there and there's bait back there, they're going to go. And it's the same way in those pads. And Dumas had a lot of that. Marisac had a lot of that. In fact, Donnie has a duck place down at Marisac, and they're down there killing alligators because you just can't fish it anymore. You can't because the pads have taken over.
In season, they're killing alligators.
Yes, yeah, there is a Pacific alligator season, I think, or something. But
we just had it, didn't we?
Yeah. Last weekend was the last season.
Yeah. And but to answer that, I mean, it's you got to get a bait back there to them. Like I said, a smaller boat helps. My boat drafts very little water, so I can get into some places other people can't, even though it's almost 22 foot. But that's kind of one of those tough ones that, it's kind of like when you were a kid growing up and you knew your neighbor down the road had some big fish in his pond and he wouldn't let you fish, and you're like, how am I gonna mow this guy's yard to get to fish in his lake, or what am I gonna do?
That's called go in after midnight.
Yeah.
I know you never did that. I can't believe Brian said that. He's not that kind of guy. He just don't.
I used to.
I just call the guy and make sure he's not home.
Right.
So you learned coming up as a young guy, started fishing. You come up and you learn all this knowledge, not off the internet, and not because you got all the modern day equipment. Does that kind of chap your ear a little bit that these guys do it this way now? To me, it takes all the fun out of it.
It does, because like Brian, we're talking about forward-facing sonar. I see it. I've seen it. I jumped over in a guy's boat at Hamilton one time and saw me catch a fish out of his boat when I was in another boat. I was like, that's kind of cool, but it was like watching an old Atari game. It was a little fuzz going to a little fuzz. I'm like, that's not fishing. My dad taught me how to fish. We had one of the original Motor Guide trolling motors. We had one of the original flashers. You learn to fish. You learn what goes on. My dad was a good friend with Don Butler, who started BASS with Ray Scott. They fished a lot. I learned a lot from those guys.
And if you continue to listen to our show tonight, you'll learn a lot more. Back in a moment. Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters. When you're out and about in the natural state, whether it's work or play, be sure to make W's Convenience Stores your one-stop shop. With 34 locations in central Arkansas, they're easy to find. Headed to the lake or just taking in the beauty of Arkansas? Stop in at your nearest W's location. Their double blend of coffee is always hot and fresh. Snacks, W's has them. Want more than a snack? Many W's have hot delis. And don't forget the hot breakfast sandwiches. W's, where you gas it, grab it, and go.
Hi, this is Joe Klein, former Razorback and owner of Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
And I'm Anthony Lucas, also a proud former Razorback and Corky's Barbecue regular customer.
We may represent different sports in different decades, but all generations of hogs agree.
Corky's is the only place to get the most delicious ribs and barbecue at a winning price.
So stop into Corky's now and every day for never-ending specials.
Corky's,
where the hogs come home, baby.
Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Make plans to attend the Arkansas Democrat Gazette Health and Wellness Expo, sponsored by UAMS, on Saturday, October 4th at our new location, the City Center on Shackelford in Little Rock. This free health and living expo will feature free health screenings, the Memo Van, doctor panels, Janet Carson, Arkansas Travelers Bingo, and prizes. Don't miss this event, Saturday, October 4th at the City Center in Little Rock. Find out more, check out today's Arkansas Democrat Gazette or visit ArkansasHealthAndWellnessExpo.com. Check out the new clothing at Bell & Swart in Conway. A new cricket polo with Razorback logo, button-downs, vests, sweaters, slacks with UCA or Arkansas gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. Great staff, fantastic service. Bell & Swart, the only Central Arkansas men's store with a tailor on staff to fit you. So go now to Bell & Swart, 1011 Oak Street in Conway on Facebook and Instagram.
I'm here with Laura Beth from Kaufman by Design West. Kaufman has over 7,000 square feet of beautiful new home decor pieces and design specialists on staff. See, that would be important for somebody like me who is design challenged.
Yeah, we have design specialists on staff and everything you need from lighting to flooring, designer hardware, and more.
And gift cards are available too. Check them out now. Kaufman by Design West, out west past Taylor Loop, 14900 Cantrell Road.
Or visit us online at kaufmanlumber.com.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters. Welcome back to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Normally at this time we talk with Neil Atkinson of Saracen Casino Resort. Because we have phone issues tonight, we're not going to do that, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Saracen. I do like going down there. I like playing the slot machines, things like that. I am not a big gambler. I'm sitting here looking at their website. It is absolutely fantastic. There is an NFL doubleheader going on tonight. One of the things that I'm not sure the right terms, but you can place bets on games while they're in progress. There are all kinds of prop bets on here. Major League Baseball playoffs are getting ready to crank up. College football, Razorbacks are off this week. I had that pulled up. Seco, Arkansas State's playing Texas State, I think it is. And so, anyway, if you just download the app, just go to betsaracen.com. It's real easy to download. You can find out all the information. Oh, and the specials, that's what I was looking for. 2025, 26 NIHL season specials. You got those. There's just a slew of them. So just for the fun of it, I don't when you place wagers or not, check out the website. You'll find it very entertaining. That's betsaracen.com.
And we're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. And I just took a glance up at this NFL Game Center trivia up here. And Ray, there's just a lot of really stupid people in the world. And anyway, we're back with Todd Baker.
Obviously, those people don't fish the river.
Yeah, they don't fish at all.
Period.
And why did you look at me when you said stupid? No.
I didn't. I was looking up there. But anyway, we're talking back with Todd Baker. We're talking some fishing. Another situation that I wanted to get into is we're going to face this when Lake Conway comes back online. You know, when all of that vegetation, they're going to have an influx of grass in there that's going to last.
Full of it right now.
Yeah, and when that floods up, that's going to be, right below the surface. When you get into a situation like that, and you will get into it in Louisiana, Florida, wherever you go, how do you go about fishing real tall grass like that where you've got a narrow window up top?
Kind of the same thing like you were talking about the lily pads, either a frog, a swim bait, something. It kind of depends on what the fish are reacting to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, top water works well in that. It goes back to water temperature. You know, if it's cold, you can do like you used to do at Ouachita years ago that I haven't done in years. Is burn a rattle trap over it, kill it, yank it out of the grass. Usually that's when you get a hit. There again, you need stout tackle for that because you're yanking it out of, pretty thick grass. But like one of the biggest fish I caught in Arkansas was doing that in, 2011. And I was about to put it down, and I thought I hooked a drum or something because it wouldn't come up, and it weighed 7 3/4, I think. And, I was like a little kid in the candy store in the back of my buddy's boat, just jumping him down when he netted it. And I was like, I'm going to do this the rest of the day. And 3 hours later, I was like, I can't even hold the rod in my hands. It hurt so bad from reeling all day. But a lot of that is a lot of things go into that. But a fluke works really well in that. A swim bait, I'm sure a vibrating jig, whatever you want to call those, worked over it. Sometimes, like I said, you got to kill it in it. And then if it's hotter, then you just go, what they call punching, where you take a heavier weight and some type of soft plastic. Sometimes use a worm, sometimes use a craw-like bait. A lot of people call it a beaver or something. It still emulates a crawdad. And you might pitch certain spots of it. You wouldn't just pitch the whole thing. And the bad thing is a lot of people, it all looks the same. And they'll relate to different things in it. And I can tell you the same thing. Like, we've been talking about the catching fish on the river on a crankbait. I've still been catching fish in backwater because the water's still warm, and it's around some type of cover. But you can go down one bank, it's full of grass, and all of a sudden you'll find one little isolated clump of grass. Kind of the same thing in that. If you can find something isolated, and it's going to sound funny, but we went to St. Clair years ago, and we went in September, one of the toughest times to be there. I'd never been there. And St. Clair is basically like fishing in a big bowl.
Yeah.
You don't really fish the bank. You fish grass patches, or if you can find it, rocks. If you can find rocks in St. you just stay there. The fish will be there, or they'll start firing at some point. But isolated cover makes so much more different than just you can go down the bank in the river and be a solid bank of grass. But if you can find something different, like a little cut in there, maybe where a little creek channel used to be or something, or sand has washed out and made it deeper, there's probably going to be fish there. And that can be really good, and it can be just filled with grass. And you're like, how in the world do I catch them in there? Well, early in the morning, you would start with something on top because they're going to be up. If it's cloudy, you might catch them around there all day long, or overcast, or whatever. But sunny, they're going to bury up in it somewhere. And I know in Florida you get a lot of it because you have a lot of that, and they strictly go pretty much to punching it.
Have you thought about doing videos on YouTube places?
I don't want to reveal my secret places, but my son-in-law puts them on there.
Okay.
His son-in-law puts his secret places on.
Yeah.
He puts your secrecplaces on there?
He puts anything on there. He doesn't care.
That's what. Yeah.
You talking about your ex-son-in-law?
No, he's a father actually for 3 weeks this past Saturday, and he still goes with me.
So one of our great advertiser sponsors for years, Guadney Buick GMC. You don't know a guy named Lance Brown, do you?
Oh yeah. I worked with Lance.
He said, be sure and tell you hello. He just texted me.
Hi, Lance. Oh, I'll have to text him on my way home. I haven't seen Lance in years.
He's a wonderful guy.
Lance and I started off on a bad foot, but then we became friends.
There's a situation that I ran into back in when Ouachita had a lot of grass back in the day, and Kevin Short and I were fishing that late summer. And he did kind of what you're talking about, was fishing these tiny holes in that grass, and he would get something over it and just drop dead, and it would go down in there. And he caught fish on a day when most people probably wouldn't have.
Oh, yeah. It's just something different. I mean, that's the bad, like Ray saying about YouTube and stuff. It's a bad, like you're making it to about kids. Kids don't learn to go fish. I keep telling my son-in-law this. He managed UCA's fishing team when he's there. He's on YouTube all the time. He makes videos of us in my boat, fishing, and of his buddies and stuff in his boat and their boat. They don't just turn all off and go learn to fish. I mean, he's probably learned, I hate to say it, he's probably learned more from me fishing with me than he has watching on there, because he'll ask me about techniques, and I said, try it. And he'll try it, and he doesn't catch anything. And he goes, it's funny, I go back to what you were telling me to do at this, and I'm like, I'm no fish expert, but, it's worked. And if it keeps working, you keep doing it. You try variations of it. It's just like my buddy Cletus that paints baits for me, and we've talked about, we'll try, we've done this, go here on the river. If you don't have time, you just go hit your spots and you catch what you can, you have your day and you go home. But it's funny that when you go try different things in different spots, you're like, why in the world haven't I fished here for years? And we found a spot down a couple winters ago. We went over there just on a whim, we'll go over there and try it. There was gar everywhere. We sat in there one day and caught 80 fish out of one spot, and there's nothing special about it, period.
You want to give him a little bit about Cletus? You need to give him his business a plug?
Yeah, he needs help. He doesn't really have a website. It's just
okay.
He paints custom crankbaits, and he's really, really good. We've gone to Canada the last 2 years. Cletus he's an old salt-of-the-earth guy. He drove trains on the railroad for years, but he's one of the nicest guys you ever meet. He would, if you were friends with him, he would get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and come get you if you had a problem. And tell you what kind of guy he is. James Miller, who owns Gwatney in Jacksonville.
Oh, James.
Several years ago, I was doing finance at a different dealership, unfortunately, and Miller called me and he goes, "Hey, are you on the river today?" And I went, "No, I'm working actually." And he says, "Well, okay, I figured you might be out." So what do you need, Miller? Because I've known Miller and I are like brother from another mother. We've known each other since 2002. And I said, well, I'm broke. I broke down the river. I need some oil. I need some help. I said, hang on a minute. Let me call somebody. I called Cletus. I'd have called my other buddy, but I knew he couldn't get there. And Cletus goes, well, yeah, I'm at home. I'll run down. Where's he at? And I told him exactly where he's at. He goes, yeah, I'll run some stuff to him. And he goes, okay.
Thank God we all know somebody like
that.
Oh,
God, thank God, yeah. I mean, you need a Cletus in your life.
We do.
And
You fish with people that take their motor apart while you're out on the water? I mean...
I have, yes. I try not to. But.
I think we've all done that, Ray.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's just what kind of guy he is. Come to find out, and then Cletus has been with Miller and out of Canada the last 2 years, and come to find out Cletus wasn't even home. He was in Little Rock. He drove all the way to Hensley to get his boat, to put in at Redfield to go just take Miller some oil. He's just one of those guys. So. But he paints phenomenal baits. I mean, he's something else.
And Brian will be asking for a few if you don't watch it.
Yeah, if we're talking about custom painted crankbaits, I like those.
He wants me to send him the one I'm using right now, and all you got to do is watch my son-in-law's video. It's probably on there, but I need to send him a picture of it. But it's nothing. It's just a different brand. It's gonna sound stupid. I found them on sale, bought them, started using it, started catching big fish. So I just kept using it. But
you didn't have to stop talking. We're coming up on a break here very shortly. We're going to visit with Stuart Taylor, who's the superintendent of Bull Shoals White River State Park. We're having to do this a little different tonight. Our phone lines are messed up, and so I will get Stuart on the line. I'll count him down 3, 2, 1, and let him tell us all about that. We can't do a Q&A back and forth. Won't work that way tonight. So stay tuned. We'll visit and find out all about Bull Shoals White River State Park. Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus, lots of fun choices. Like ping pong, right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Brand new players get a 100% profit boost just for downloading the Bet Saracen app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
The season is back, and your team at Gwatney Buick GMC is playing fantasy financing all month. So get ready to sack your current payment. 2025 Buick Envista at just $199 per month. Get a full blitz of loyalty cash and bonus cash, bringing 2025 Sierra up to 20% below MSRP. Plus, Gwatney Buick GMC is making the biggest play of the year, the $20,000 Negative Equity Assistance Program. Your best opportunity to turn your current car situation around. And with Hummer EV at 0%, don't fumble and miss this $7,500 EV tax credit that ends on September 30th. It's fantasy financing all month long at 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock next to Sam's Club. 501-945-4444. Gwatney, Buick, GMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Some vehicles require qualifying trade-in. All offers with approved credit. Envista is an ultra-low mileage lease. Sierra based on an MSRP of $55,095. Zero interest has length of contract limited.
Bring your team. Now open at the Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art in Bentonville, Arkansas. Get in the game. Sports, art, culture. From iconic athletes to all too human stories. See how today's artists tap into the power of sports. Experience the drive, passion, and culture surrounding games through the eyes of superstar icons and everyday athletes. Get your tickets today at crystalbridges.org/getinthegame.
Calling all business owners. Join Genwealth Financial Advisors for the Built to Endure Business Owners Summit, an event designed to help you with your business and your money. You'll hear from other business owners, an employee benefits specialist, and legendary SEC coach Houston Nutt. Seats are limited, so reserve your seats today at getreadyforthefuture.com/endure.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Independent Advisor Alliance. Independent Advisor Alliance and Genwealth Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Tito's Handmade Vodka presents the 2025 1037 The Buzz Fall Golf Tournament Tuesday, October 14th at Repsamen Golf Course. Registration is now open. Go to 1037thebuzz.com to register your 4-person team. Prizes will be awarded in both morning and afternoon flights. It's the 2025 1037 The Buzz Fall Golf Tournament Tuesday, October 14th at Repsamen Golf Course. Presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka and brought to you in part by Double B's and Twin Peaks. Thanks to Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, Sonic, and Michelob Ultra.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters. Welcome back to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, coming to you live from our Honda North Little Rock studios. All right, got to do things a little different tonight. We started a series, a couple of months ago, Brian, featuring our wonderful state parks. Tonight we got to do things a little bit different. If you're a follower of the Buzz, we've had phone issues this afternoon. And the situation is this. As long as we have the caller on hold, they can hear us talking. But then we have to punch them online, and when we do, then we can't talk to them. And so what we're going to do here, the superintendent of Bull Shoals White River State Park, Stuart Taylor, is on the line with us, and so we're just going to kind of pitch the ball to Stuart and let him run. So I'm going to do like Rainwater was doing on drive time. I'm going to count him down like it's a NASA project. So Stuart, I'm going to count you down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and when I say 1, you start talking. So here we go. I hope this works. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, thank you, Ray and Brian, for this opportunity. I don't think I've ever been referred to as a NASA project, but I'm always happy to talk about Arkansas State Park, and specifically Bull Shoals White River State Park, where I have the privilege of working and living and raising a family here. And we have plenty to talk about and to be excited about at Bull Shoals White River State Park, specifically this week. This Thursday at 11:30, we have the grand opening of a brand-new mountain bike trail that was built by Progressive Trails out of Bentonville. The North Arkansas Trail team has done an amazing job getting this progressively worked on from January last year. We're finally seeing that completed, and we're going to open that thing up this week and have a great time on Thursday. We've got 4.4 miles of brand new mountain bike trail, part of which is beginner friendly, which is great for me. I have just taken up mountain bike riding. And then there's just shy of 3 miles for the more intermediate riders. Now, this gives us a little over 7 miles of total mountain biking trails that our guests can enjoy. Here at Bull Shoals White River State Park, we have just over 14 miles of total trails, which includes both hiking and mountain biking trails, part of which is ADA paved at our James Gaston Visitor Center there in Bull Shoals. So plenty of opportunities for folks to get outside, ride the mountain bike, or just hike with some amazing views of the White River. Along with the grand opening of the new bike trail this weekend, we have the Great Arkansas Cleanup this coming Saturday. This community event is so important for all of state parks, but it really gives us the opportunity to take care of our resource, get it cleaned up, and that's this Saturday here at Bull Shoals. Bull Shoals White River State Park offers 112 campsites, ranging from AAA full hookup sites to primitive tent sites. We have 3 permanent RVs right there on the river for rent as well. And when you talk about Bull Shoals White River State Park, you have to talk about trout fishing. The park has a marina right there on the White River, probably about a mile from the Bull Shoals Dam. And that marina offers 20-foot john boats available for rent, as well as kayaks and canoes, a full bait shop, as well as souvenirs and snacks right there on the White River. And we're seeing some great fish caught this year. A very busy river. Word has spread, and a lot of folks are coming to Bull Shoals White River State Park, not only the park, but to the White River for their opportunity to hopefully catch that record trout or that trout that they can brag to their buddies about. So we're seeing a lot of folks here. And, you know, we're known for trout fishing here at Bull Shoals White River State Park and just for having a beautiful area. So we're excited for those biking trails to add to what we already have and give folks an opportunity to do more than just trout fishing, even though that's what we are known for. Our visitor center, a great 15,000 square foot facility with a gift shop, and is a great stop right there on top of Bull Shoals Dam. As soon as you enter into Bull Shoals, it's right there, and it's just a beautiful facility. And we see many, many visitors there that come in, visit with us, want to know about the area, want to know about the park. And it's a great, great facility to come and visit. For detailed information, I know I'm trying to rattle off. It's hard to rattle off everything that we've got going on at the park. But for more information for our state parks, not only Bull Shoals White River State Park, but all of the state parks, you can go to arkansasstateparks.com. And it is there that you can make reservations not only at our park, but at other state parks. And we can't wait to see you. Come visit us and say hi.
All right. That was Stuart Taylor. If you're still with us, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put you on hold and visit with you just a little bit and then punch you back up. But I'll have to count you down, 3, 2, 1. You got special events going on up there. That's a special time of the year. For those who know the White River, and Brian, you know it really, really well, that's one of the great places to get up there and fish.
That's one of my favorite state parks, and I'd like to talk a little bit about that great campground you've got, and also that wonderful waterside, gift shop, kind of a restaurant thing there that you can park a boat next to and have your lunch right there on a veranda at the river, and basically those things. And also, what does one of your trout boats cost to rent?
All right, we're going to count you down. 3, 2, 1.
Yes, absolutely. I always love promoting other businesses and destinations, and that restaurant you're referring to is down at Gaston's Resort, and just a wonderful spot to stop in when you're out fishing and head up there and have a great lunch overlooking the White River. And in regards to our campground, just a beautiful campground. 2018, we remodeled the majority of our campground, made the spots a little bit more spacious. This last year, we were able to put air conditioning in all 4 of our bathhouses, and that's been a great hit this year. I've gotten a lot of compliments on that, having some air conditioner for us, and in those bathhouses in July when it's 100 out. That's been a great benefit for the park as well. Boat rentals. We rent, like I said, it's a 20-foot john boat, 15 horsepower, electric start motors. We rent those for $135 a day. Right now, our marina opens at 7 a.m. and closes at 6. We also offer a half a day for $100 if someone just wanted to take a 4 or 5 hour trip. That price does include all of your fuel, life jackets, etc. All you need to bring is your favorite Lucky fishing lure.
All right, we have been visiting with Stuart Taylor, Superintendent of Bull Shoals White River State Park. Thanks for being such a good sport with us tonight, and we'll be back with final segment. We've lost a couple of wonderful outdoor people, Larry Ray in Memphis, and your man over in DeWitt.
Just the Undertaker Essex.
All right, and we'll talk more about that when we come back. Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
It's a tough time, injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
When you're out and about in the natural state, whether it's work or play, be sure to make W's Convenience Stores your one-stop shop. With 34 locations in central Arkansas, they're easy to find. Headed to the lake or just taking in the beauty of Arkansas? Stop in at your nearest W's location. Their double blend of coffee is always hot and fresh. Snacks, W's has them. Want more than a snack? Many W's have hot delis. And don't forget the hot breakfast sandwiches. W's, where you gas it, grab it, and go. Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
This is Thomas Blackman with Blackman Auctions. Since 1938, we've handled many different types of auctions. We sold bulldozers, excavators, farm tractors, farms, locomotives, fully custom rail cars, vehicles, Harley-Davidsons, cows, lake houses, hunting properties, pickups, heavy trucks, big trailers, plus hundreds of other random things. Honestly, if it's for sale, we probably sold it. Our knowledge and experience is priceless, much like your hard-earned assets. Since 1938, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Let's get it. Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself.
1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
See Shelter Agent Lawrence Forrester in Cabot, Steve Fisher in Stuttgart, or Kyle Stone in Pine Bluff today.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters. And again, a special thanks to Stuart Taylor, Superintendent, Bull Shoals White River State Park, going through the process we had to go through today. Made mention as we're going to the break, Brian and I are celebrating our 11th year with this show, and this is how it kind of came about. We were invited up to Gasson's Resort on the White River for a media deal, and if I'm not mistaken, Brian, you correct me, Larry Ray, who wrote for the Commercial Appeal in Memphis Outdoor, and also had a radio show, which his was not live. It was early morning. We started anyway. You and I met, and for whatever reason, we started talking about radio. And I said, "Would you like to try to team up and do an outdoor show?" And therefore came Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors.
Yeah, in fact, the conversation that we had started over bubble wrapping on reels. And I'd written about, how you can tear yourself up and cut your fingers off trying to get into that stuff. And you came up to me and said that you agreed wholeheartedly that was the most frustrating thing in the world. And conversation started, and here we are 11 years later.
So anyway, our friend Larry Ray, I knew Larry when years ago, early 80s, I was assistant athletic director for radio and television at Memphis State, and got a chance to meet Larry Ray. Just a super guy, and did more great stuff for the outdoors.
Yeah, and he's from North Little Rock.
Yeah.
And
that's why we hit it off.
Yeah, University of Arkansas graduate, and he did his show with a fellow named Ron Wong, and Ron passed away earlier in the year. Larry had been battling various kind of cancers. He got brain cancer, and that was the one that he just couldn't come back from, and passed away this weekend. But what a great, great, wonderful, gentle man he was, and he was a fixture in Memphis. I'll tell you a story about him. He was wrote for his stories often appeared on the Wire, outdoor stories, back when I was working up in Northwest Arkansas. So that's how I first was acquainted with Larry's work. And I took a job in Atlanta as editor of 4 magazines. There, one of them was Tennessee Sportsman, and there was a dearth of competent writers in Tennessee to write for that magazine. And I contacted Larry and just begged him to write for me, and he couldn't do it. Didn't want to do anything that was in conflict with the commercial appeal and everything. And finally talked him into it. First story he wrote for me was a story about hooking into about a 30-pound striper and giving himself a hernia. It's just kind of stuff he did.
He wasn't a very big guy either.
Yeah, no, he wasn't big. And then he wrote another one about hunting deer in cotton fields, which was pretty cool. And
different.
Yeah, Larry just had he had a nice way of angles, and he was a great writer, just a fantastic writer, and an even better man. And going to miss him a lot.
All right, let's talk about The Undertaker, Jess Essex over at DeWitt. I'm from Eastern Arkansas. I say DeWitt. It's not DeWitt. It's not Elaine. It's Elaine. Okay, let's go.
That's right. And so a couple of weeks ago, anybody that reads my my material in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette has been familiar with Jess Essex. And I don't know, Ray, how you would describe him except just larger than life. And he was a large guy. He, when he passed, he was around about 400 pounds. Mm-hmm. And full of stories. He was a living museum of hunting and fishing lore in Southeast Arkansas. He just had that thing about him. He was old school, old South, all that, in all the best ways. And we struck up a friendship. I'm not really sure how it came about, but he was the proprietor of the Essex Funeral Home there in DeWitt, and he had also been the Arkansas County coroner, so I referred to him in print as the Undertaker, and he called me one time and says, my sister-in-law really hates, or it might have been a sister, she didn't like that Undertaker thing, made him sound like one of them wrestlers. I said, well,
it did.
I said, you're the Undertaker, so she's going to have to get over it. And so he said, all right, well, I just had to pass that along.
We had him in the studio one night. He came up, and we took him over to the Faded Rose, and that's when we found out he had alligator arms.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah, he
said, let me get that check, but he didn't reach it.
He never quite got it. Yeah.
What a character.
Yeah, he was fantastic, and everything that he owned was broke. Everything that he had was poorly repaired. If you went out with him, it was something was going to happen that was going to strand you or put you in a precarious situation. And oh man, but he was a hoot. So I can probably tell this story, but right before he passed away,
we got a minute to go.
All right, right before he passed away. He was in the hospital, and I texted him and said, is there anything I can do for you? He said, yeah, bring me an Arby's roast beef sandwich and a Coke and a stamped envelope. All right. So I brought him the roast beef sandwich, and, of course, he would rather talk than eat. So we're sitting on this couch in his hospital room, and, he's got his sandwich up there. I said, I can stay here as long as you want, Jess, but you need to eat that sandwich before they come in here and take it away from you. So right about then, the nurse came in, and he had his food there on his little tray over his bed. And she looked at us and said, well, you didn't even touch this. And then she saw that Arby's bag. She looked over at us with this glare, and we're just kind of looking down at the floor. And she goes, well, it's better than what we served you anyway. Enjoy. And she stormed out the room, and that was the end of that.
Todd Baker, appreciate you taking time to join us tonight.
Anytime.
I'm going to ask you a quick question. If you were to go fishing and not the river, where would you go this week?
Tomorrow.
Canada. Oh. Nimrod.
All right,
probably go to Nimrod.
This is a special time of the year in Arkansas. Get out and enjoy our Arkansas State Parks. There's 52 of them.
And it's also bow season. Go ahead and get you some.